everyone, welcome to another Scrap With Me episode. Today I'm going to be using the Wanderful paper packet to create a layout. I'm starting with some imitation Polaroid photo frames that I'm making. I'm using a 3.5 by 4.25 white paper and a 3 by 3 1/8 crystal blue cardstock. Both of these papers I just very lightly sponge around the edge. I'm using 7 of these Polaroid photo mats, and then once I'm actually loading my photos onto the layout, the photos themselves will be 2 3/4 by 2 7/8 inches. So I just put those together right off the bat. You have to be a little bit careful because it's 3 by 3 1/8. You want the 3 1/8 side to be the longest going down, and it's easy to accidentally put it on the wrong way, so just kind of be careful of that. So now that I've got 7 of these photo mats all put together, I'm going to start working with my paper. So again, I am using the Wanderful paper pack. I have this lovely passport paper which has all these country names on the other side, and what I've done is I've partially gutted it. I've cut in from the edge 2 inches and all the way across to 2.5 inches from that far side. And then I've done the same at the top, so basically 2 inches in from the top and bottom, and then over to 2.5 inches from that left side. Then I've got this other piece of paper which is 10 inches by 9 inches, so it's just enough to cover that gutted space. And as you know, I love to gut my papers because the excess paper that I save can be used for another layout, and often I can gut the paper without even needing to use a base paper to mount it on. Here I'm just rubbing off some of the glue because of course on the right there is no paper to glue my overlay onto, and it will just stick to my mat. So fortunately with the adhesive, it just kind of, you give it a little rub with your finger and it rolls off. So the paper overlays the edge of the gut by a 1/2 inch or a quarter inch, sorry. And then I've got those paper strips that I cut off from the edges of my papers, and those are airport codes. And then you can see the bottom strip I've left intact. I'm putting it on at 1 3/4 inches away from the edge. 1 1/4 to 1 3/4 inches, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the top. But you can see I've taken that top strip and I've actually cut it into pieces because I didn't want the top and the bottom strips to exactly mirror each other. I wanted them to kind of look a little bit different, so I just gave them a little snip, put them on at the top there. That pattern on that blue paper is nice because it has a very straight dot that I can follow to make sure that my lines are straight and even, and I've adhered that again at the top at 1 1/4 inches from the top, and the strip itself is 1/2 inch wide. So now I've got my base papers laid down, and then I have these Polaroid photo mats which I'm going to put on my layout, and I want them to kind of be in this kind of whimsical position, not too straight. And then I've turned the layout to myself so I can actually really see what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out where to put this destination relaxation sticker. I first thought it would be at the top, but then it's kind of floating, and just for unity of the layout, I like having elements touch each other and nothing float separate. So I've just laid it over top of those airport code strips, and then I'm just going to attach my Polaroid photos to the layout. And again, I'm layering them over top of each other. There is a little area on the bottom of the Polaroids where I'm going to want to do like a little journal, just either a location of where the photo was taken or a caption. Then I have that little arrow that says look in the purple. It's from the Wanderful assortment, and you can put it around the paper, but I don't know, I felt like I would be missing part of the beauty of the purple, and so I just stuck it right on. And let me tell you, that adhesive is super sticky. So once I've placed that purple thing, it is not moving. It is not like Tombow. It is hardcore sticky. Then I've got this little itinerary sheet, which is so perfect for me because I'm a total trip planner. Nothing spontaneous ever happens on my trips. It totally, yeah, it would make me so anxious to not know what was happening next. So my sister thought that was awesome for a layout that is going to be using photos of myself, actually. Then I have that little arrow it's almost like a chevron, I guess, going across the other page. So to imitate the other side of the layout, I'm using those Polaroid photos, and I'm just bringing them across in a straight line. I was inspired from this layout from a Pinterest picture that I have, and I'll put that in the credits so you know where I kind of got it from. But I'm just laying out these photos in a straight line across. So the left-hand page, which you can see on the right now, is kind of a little bit fuller, and then this right-hand page becomes a little bit more minimalist, but it's actually quite nice. It forms a really good visual triangle. I'm just pulling out some of the complements. Oh, here I have journal squares that I've pre-stamped, and I just keep them in a special place because I always find that, you know, the act of going and getting out your stamps and doing all that stuff and then cutting everything out is just, it can be a little bit of a pain, and I just want a journal strip right away. So I pre-stamp those, and then they're either in the colonial white or the pure white, and I can just pull whenever I need one. So right now I'm just going to lay on the stickers that I have, and I'm just, just kind of lining things up, figuring out where I want them to go. I want that journaling just slightly under the sticker, so I put it down very gently and then just push it down on top. That bus is actually going to end up on the other page. It didn't have a location there. I've got those little pink teardrops that say I was here that I'm going to put up there. That little circle there says me, because I saw that woman on the moped and just thought she was super adorable, and I don't know, just thought that's the person I would love to be, the adventurer abroad. And I'm going to be using photos from my trip to Germany for this layout. That little circle post mark ends up on the other page too. So I have the 3 photo mats, and now I'm going back to that original page to just add a few more things. So right there I've got that rhinestone square frame, and I've just stuck it on the layout temporarily, but I know that I want to use that to frame my face in one of the photos. The double-decker bus ends up there, and the little